Skyrim has changed. I have changed. Rebellion has become war. Its disease has infected every organ of the province, except for my tucked-away appendix of a home, just barely hanging on to the edge of the rift. I suppose that even the greatest virus cannot live amongst the dead. I am a ghost walking amongst ghosts. Just another cloak blowing in the storm. The civil landscape is not what I remember. Like everyone else, lumberjacks and work hands have went to fight for home or for empire, and are in short supply. People have taken to pulling apart their homes to provide their loved ones with the material they need for arrows and armor. Even their fences have become nothing more than post and twig. Man and myrrh are now the barriers that defend the land, and like a cold mother, the land welcomes them home. The best of the blacksmiths reserve their pieces for one side of the war effort or the other, though a few of us nomads slip between the slats and are charged enough coin so that we may pay the Empire's taxes for them. It is no longer secret which side holds fight for, even though a few still swear neutrality. Bodies dangle from the walls, and blood drips as commonly as dew after a misty riften morning. I've traveled the lands. I've walked more of Skyrim now than I ever have. As ever, idle hours breed wandering thoughts. For a couple of years, I traded the madness for wandering feet. In hoping to rid my mind of death, all that I found was more of it. Brothers killing sisters, sisters slaying mothers, and mothers praying that their husbands survive their sons. Prayers. Prayers. Even with so much life expiring around me, I can't help but feel nothing. I have spent 2 years on the roads, sleeping in my fur tent, in the woods away from the towns, stumbling back upon the great lifts to Black Reach. I spent another year mining out practically everything that was inside. Finally, after having enough of the dark of the depths of the Reach, I found my way back home. It has been 6 years since I slain the woman I loved. 6 years I have lived with the thought of swooning over a creature who murdered my family, and yet I bear not the slightest sense of what my mother had named me for. Peace. I know what I have seen, what I have done. I know what I have heard, yet a part of me is still not sure. Is still not. I simply cannot believe that. It's a hard life, living as a god's plaything. Anger is no longer an adversary of mine as I have let go the nightmares of my youth. My visions have stopped. The words of dragons have returned to myth, though from time to time I still think of my mother and wonder, why did she speak when father came to me? Right here, right where I now stand. And why did father wait until then? I prayed for months. I made pilgrimage to his final resting place. Why then did he? Why did my mother summon me to Mara's temple? I've yet to go. I imagine that time passes quickly for the dead. It has for me, and I'm only 1 foot in. I'm sure that she won't hold my hesitation against me. After all, it was her who told me to wait when I could not. My camp is my own again. It has been restored beyond what it ever was. I have livestock to keep me fed and to keep me company when away from the caravans and hunters. I eat meat when needed, but I do my best to live mainly off the foliage. I speak with chickens more these days now than anything. I mean, I've talked to people in barter. Malachite goes a long way on the road. I've shaken hands and traded politenesses when presented with the appropriate situation to do so, and though I have not truly spoken to someone, spoken as one human does to another when being human, since human. I can't even say her name. I don't think there is a living soul who would remember me other than Isran and the Dawn Guard veterans. I feel as though I have become an afterthought to a time long past. Most of my time is spent right here in front of my fire reflecting. I don't fear the judgment of gods. I fear only the judgment of conscience. Existence is much easier in the forest. atop the mountains, away from people for the most part. I light my fire. It keeps my thoughts in the flames. Who knew that death was only the beginning? There I go, rambling again. Why the oblivion do I keep writing these daggone letters to ghosts? We're better than that. You're better. I'm better.